Good evening, guys. Welcome to Thursday night in New York. I'm literally about to go for dinner. I have dinner in maybe like 20 minutes, but I wanted to start my Q&A and I wanted to kind of do a Q&A over the course of this week. I'm going out tonight and I thought, let me start my Q&A now. Maybe if I remember, if I'm not too drunk by the time I get back, I'll answer some questions when I get home and then like tomorrow morning and like throughout the weekend. So I thought that would be quite a fun Q&A because it's not just like us sat down, it's me throughout the week, and then, you know, maybe alcohol will affect some of my questions, maybe a hangover will, maybe post-workout. I'm just going to answer some questions because I haven't done a Q&A this year, and I always do one at the start of the year, and the year is already running away from me. Let me just show you what I'm wearing first. I haven't put on my shoes yet, but I'm wearing little silk shorts and cropped body, not cropped body, just a general body. However, it is snowing right now. It just started snowing again. I actually can't believe how much it snows here. It's just like another day, like in New York when it snows. It's so strange. So let's answer some questions before I go out. Tonight I'm going to, for anyone that is in New York or going to New York, I'm going to Little Prince for drinks, which I've been to with the Laura Mercier team before, and it's gorgeous in there. Then I'm going to Bond Street for sushi, which I haven't been to yet. So I will report back on that maybe later tonight, maybe in the morning. I also just landed back from Miami. Are you still thinking of buying property in Miami? So I have my home in London. That is my like main home and my main residence. That sounds very formal. I wouldn't buy a second property. I would rent a second property because my priority would probably be more flexibility. And anyone that owns a home knows how much work a home is. So when I mentioned getting a second home, I'm thinking about a rental home. I'm kind of toying between New York and Miami right now. New York is definitely better for me in terms of work, events, meeting other creators. I also feel much more secure in New York because I mentioned this in my last vlog, but because my family are here basically. But Miami is literally, oh my gosh, everyone knows, like everyone sees me as like Miss Miami because I love it there so much. It's literally my happy place, and being able to be by the beach is so incredible, and I just love the vibe and the energy in Miami. Like I land in Miami and I just feel so calm. I can't describe it. It's the energy of Miami. It's completely different to the energy of New York. You land in New York, you want to go go go. Like, look at me now. I literally land from Miami, I'm like, go film, dinner, do this. I don't know, it's just the buzz of New York. So the energy in both places is completely different, but I'm toying between the two. I also have a lot more friends in New York than I do in Miami, but actually I basically have two best friends and my cousins in New York, so it feels a bit more weighted toward New York, even though, yeah, I don't know, it's a toss-up and I will report back. But yeah, to answer your question, not buying a property, I'm renting a property. Your favorite thing about being Persian other than the rice? So I'm gonna answer this as more of like Middle Eastern because my family are very Middle Eastern in culture, and I think my favorite thing about having like a Middle Eastern home and a Middle Eastern upbringing is the family warmth. Like I said something last week and one of the comments roasted me. I said I've only seen my cousins 3 times this week, and someone commented saying that's the most Middle Eastern thing you've ever said. And I didn't even realize that I said it. I thought, oh my gosh, that is so true. That is the most Middle Eastern thing I've ever said. Like the family values run deep, and even if I don't see my cousins for like 6 months, or my sister and I actually haven't really had time to speak on the phone for the past 2 weeks. We just like, our wires just like completely, our times were not aligned, and we spoke today. I cried on the phone to her just from laughing, and I was like, oh, and then I started crying and she was like, what's wrong? And I said, oh, I just miss you. I just miss hanging out with you. It's never formal. It's never like, hello, how are you? Like, how is this? How is that? Even if I don't see any of my family members for a while, it's kind of like just deep dive into random conversation. Okay, my friend just messaged me. They're coming to pick me up. They're 5 minutes away. I'm going to try and remember to not drink 1, 2, 3 margaritas, floor margaritas. You know that thing, 1, 2 margaritas floor. Anyway, and answer some questions when I get back, maybe when I'm taking off my makeup. I think this is going to be a fun way to do a Q&A. I'm really excited about this. So I will see you after some sushi. Guys, hello. I mixed, and I don't often mix alcohol, but I mixed tequila and wine, which is never, ever a good idea, let me tell you. So I thought now would be a good time to answer the more serious questions. Let's get to the first one. Don't answer if triggering. Do you still hope for marriage and kids? That's so sweet of you to say don't answer if triggering. I am very happy to answer this question. The short answer is yes. I am such a hopeless romantic. I honestly sometimes wish I wasn't. Yes, I do still hopes for marriage and kids. The more I get older, the more I don't believe there's like one person for everyone. I have loved people, and every time I end up having a better relationship or loving someone more. So if it's only getting better, then that gives me hope. I always seem to talk about things that are quite serious when I have mascara falling down my face, which is kind of silly. I was actually speaking about this the other day with my friend. He's actually in his 40s. Early 40s, and he was saying that his friends that got married and had kids in their 20s, in their 40s, they're doing their 20s, like they're going out, they're having fun, blah blah blah. And we both agreed, I mean, there's no right or wrong way to do anything, but I would be very happy to have a family in my 30s. This is a good one. Have you maintained a friendship with your ex? Possibilities of getting back in a relationship with him. Okay, so dating one of your best friends is very interesting because when you break up, when you're dating someone, you become best friends anyway, I suppose, but we were best friends before we started dating. So dating a best friend and breaking up means you lose a best friend, which is really hard because it's not just a friendship you're losing, it's a friendship, it's a relationship, and you kind of, in my case, your friendship group is kind of separated. However, it's been over a year now, like a year and a half almost, something like that. And only in the past couple of months have we started like regaining a friendship, I would say. It definitely will never be what it was, and I don't think either of us, I mean, I can't speak for the other party, but I don't think either of us would want it to be that way. But it is nice to have that kind of friendship again where you speak occasionally, you want the best for each other. I know there are some breakups and a lot of breakups where such horrendous things happen that you never want to see the person again, you never want to look at them or be in the same room as them ever again. That wasn't really the case with us. The relationship kind of just ran its course. So yeah, it is nice to be able to have a friendship. I would term it as like a loose friendship, to be honest. Possibilities of getting back into a relationship, I would say probably unlikely. I'm not really the kind of person that goes back once I've kind of explored something and I've put it to bed. Like, I'm quite one way or the other with relationships. I don't I either like yes or no. So once I've explored something, I've kind of like ruled it off. Sorry, I just needed to get the cleanser that you are currently tripoding on. But you know, every relationship is so different. There are so many relationships I've had where it's just cold is it cold turkey? Is that the same? Where it's just kind of like no contact forever and ever, basically. But I do definitely believe in the concept of after a relationship ends, goodbye. It does seem quite weird and sad to pretend like that person doesn't exist, essentially. I honestly believe from the bottom of my heart that is the only way to get over someone. And if there is any hope of recovering what friendship was there, or being on good terms, or having like nice distant perhaps like energy between you, I do think it needs to be like that's just my belief. Like, I'm sure people have done it other way, but for me the only thing that's ever worked is cut contact, cut energy, cut ties. Okay, so I'm officially ready for bed. I have a workout in the morning, which who knows if we're gonna make at this stage, to be honest. I'm being very together for someone that is quite drunk right now. I think it's because we're chatting and doing questions and stuff, so I'm having to use brain cells that I would not normally have to use right now. And yes, I do always do my skincare when I'm drunk. I never sleep in my makeup, like over and over and over. You know, it's not the skin makeup, it's the eye makeup that I could never sleep in eye makeup. I wear way too much eye makeup to sleep in eye makeup, to be honest. I'm almost finished this Codely eye cream, and it is just so good. Okay, I will see you in the morning. Good morning. I'm gonna make myself a little tea while we do some questions. This is tea strips. It's a lymphatic cleanse, and it has lemon balm, ginger, and peppermint in it. It's kind of crazy. They're sort of like literal I mean, we call this Cumradine. This is nothing like Cumradine, but in my mind it looks like it. So you literally put this in hot water. I think I'm also going to go to my favorite grocery store and get myself a coconut water. That is probably my like hangover hack. How cute are these mugs? Little Claridge's mugs. So you literally put this in and then it just melts, and like that's your tea. So while my tea is heating up, let's answer a question. Sorry, I look very hungover. What would you tell your younger self? I would probably tell my younger self to stop getting carried away with the future and focus more on the present, because I feel like I actually ruined so many amazing things by focusing on the past or focusing on the future. It sounds so basic, but the more I tried to not get carried away with the future or dragged down by the past, the more I was actually able to like enjoy my day-to-day life. I would also tell my younger self that people come and go, and that's okay. And I would also say that a lot of things in life come back round. I'm going to tell you a specific example. When I was first starting to apply for jobs, there was a job that was my dream job that I really wanted, and it was the beauty assistant at Tatler magazine. There were a few magazines I wanted to work for, and there was only really 2 positions in the magazines. There was like beauty editor and beauty assistant, and then beauty intern, which wasn't a full-time job. You would kind of just be there for like 2 weeks to a month. Beauty assistants were on year-long contracts, sometimes recurring, sometimes just a year, and they would move. And I wanted to be at a magazine, and Tatler was my dream publication, more so than Vogue actually. It's a Condé Nast publication, and it's very much a like British English focused magazine on like society, culture, and those were my favorite beauty pages to read as well. Can you see this tea? It like sort of melts in there. I applied for the job. I hustled quite hard to get my foot in the door. I actually, to be honest with you, I did some stalking of the beauty editor, the teams. I showed up to a lot of their Tatler events so that I could meet people on the teams, and I had an interview. I did not get the job, and I remember not getting the job and sobbing my eyes out to my sister because it really was my dream job, and I thought I had a really good chance. I think I cried for like 3 days straight about this job. I was so sad because I knew I couldn't apply again for a while because it was a year-long contract. The job wouldn't come up again for another year, and in that point I would probably be in another job that I wouldn't be able. So just the maths in my head was like, well, that means I'm never going to be able to work there really, and I was so sad because that was my dream publication. Anyway, fast forward, I think it was 6 years or 7 years, I got asked to be a contributing beauty editor for Tatler as a writer and an influencer. They just had a new editor come in. They wanted someone that was like good on video, good on camera, because they wanted online content as well, and they wanted someone that kind of grew up in these like Tatler circles, I suppose, but that also had a following. So that was a really crazy full circle moment, and I would definitely tell my younger self that things do come back round, even if it's like 7 years later. Sometimes things come back round. Which one, treatment or plastic surgery, would you recommend? For me, nose job every day of the week. I'm so happy I got my nose done. It took a while to get right, as some of you know, but that's the only plastic surgery I've had, and I don't regret it at all. Treatment I would recommend is mesotherapy. They kind of like inject vitamins into your skin, a very light injection, and they're sort of tailored vitamins and minerals based on what they think your skin needs. I go to Dr. Dre Clinic on Canning Place in South Kensington, but a lot of places do it. I just noticed I have like a meso glow afterwards, I call it. The other thing I love is a facial from Sarah Chapman. They do LED, they do micro needling, they do facial massage. Like, my skin looks so good. They're my favorite facials in London. I've had a lot of facials, and I keep going back to them and back to them. I think I've been going to them for like 8 years now. I try and go twice a year. Sometimes I go once a year, but when I do go, oh my gosh, I notice such a difference. What aspects of your Middle Eastern heritage did you dislike growing up but now appreciate? Okay, I'm going to tell you something. Growing up, I was at a very English religious school. It was a Christian school, and I was the only Middle Eastern girl in the whole school. I was the literal only girl in my year without fully like English parents. So there were a lot of things about my Middle Eastern heritage that I felt were very like different compared to everyone I was seeing around me at school. Especially because when you're younger, you only really see people from school, like, if that makes sense. Like, as you get older, you diversify your friend group so much more, but when you're just kind of going to school and going home, my only friends were really from school. So there were quite a lot of things that I felt were quite different about me, and I sort of just wanted to like blend in a bit more. And as I got older, I literally, like, my personality is being Middle Eastern. That's the thing I feel like about being Middle Eastern. You can't fight it. It's ingrained in me. It's who I am. And going off track, I need to ask you a question. What aspects of your Middle Eastern heritage did you dislike growing up but now appreciate? Okay, I think generally just being not like everyone else I was seeing around me in school. I tried to kind of blend a bit more probably, but I always really enjoyed the family aspect. I always really enjoyed the food. Like, literally Mama Rachel's chicken and rice has been my favorite meal, like, from when I could eat to now. Anyone asks me, like, you know, favorite meal before you die, I'm like, Mama Rachel's chicken and rice, obviously. Not favorite meal before you die, but like last meal, you know, you know those questions people will ask you. So I definitely appreciate the culture. I definitely appreciate like much more my family's journey into coming into the UK, going through what they went through, passing through different countries to get to the UK, changing their whole life. Like my grandma, one of my grandmas didn't meet her parents until she was 9 because they were living in different countries, they weren't able to travel. So many things that I take for granted, like being able to grow up in a house with my parents. Like my grandma didn't have that. Have you ever been to Lebanon? We love you here. That's so nice. I actually have a fun fact for you while I get a spoon. Mama Rachel got married in Lebanon and I actually went to see where she got married. I did go to Lebanon. I've been once. I've never eaten so well in my life as I ate in Lebanon, let me tell you. It was so cool to be able to see where Mama Rachel got married. I think she got married there because my grandfather was working there at the time and they had an arranged marriage, and like within a week they were married. Okay, next question. Hello? Hi. Oh, thank you so much. Flowers. Back to the question. Why are you being so coy about your Miami man slash situationship? I think the clue is in the name here. The clue is in the name. I made a rule with myself a long time ago that until something is a serious relationship, not to share it online. Because as much as I feel, and I know, like, you know, it's literally like chatting, like we do everything together, me and you, and to the point where sometimes I'm changing and I like take off my top, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to edit this out because I forget it's a camera on YouTube, going on YouTube, not like me chatting to you. Like I genuinely forget I'm speaking to a camera. So as much as I would love to share the ins and outs of any potential situationships, I do have to remember that this is going on the internet for people to see. So when I'm in a serious relationship, you will know. That's all I have to say on that front. Hi guys, I'm currently getting an IV drip. I told you this is going to be a Q&A where I brought you around with me the whole weekend. So the next question I've kind of avoided answering for a little while now, and it's, would you get another dog? And I actually came to a realization a few weeks ago where a friend's dog came and was like cuddling everyone and jumping on everyone, and I was kind of not really engaged with the dog, which is really unlike me. Normally would be on the floor. And the thing I'm gonna liken it to, which is what clicked for me, and this has taken over a year to click for me, is that, you know, when you get your heart broken and you want to, well, you might not know this, but this has happened to me before, when you get your heart broken and you just want to swear off men. I feel similarly with dogs. I feel like heartbroken still. It's like a soft pain, I would say. It's not like a hard pain, but to the point where I don't want another dog. Like I'm it sounds so stupid, but I'm honestly just not that enthralled by dogs since Duke died. I don't love dogs as much anymore because I don't know, I just miss Duke. It's such a weird feeling, and this literally only occurred to me a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, why am I not obsessed with this dog? I'm not obsessed with any dogs anymore because I'm like, oh, the only way I can like quantify it is like liking it to a breakup and having your heart broken by a man and then being like, no, I'm done with men. That's how I feel. I'm like, no, I'm done with dogs. The only time I see myself getting a dog now is I see a dog in my life as kind of like a bigger picture thing rather than just like me and a dog, because me and a dog, like my dog, it's just never going to be Duke. So yeah. The next question is, how do I have family in the US? So I actually have family in the US on my mum's side and on my dad's side. My mum went from Iran to New York, so her sister and her brother stayed in New York, and her other sister came to London from New York. So she actually went to school in New York. I think she was about 16. She went to school in New York and then she came to London. And on my dad's side, my dad's brother came to New York for work after university and got married in New York and had kids in New York. And those cousins are Josh and Max and Lucy, who you might recognise from my videos. And those are the cousins that we pretty much do every single holiday with. Lucy is the one, so I'm trying to explain to you my family tree. Lucy is the one that is in London for a like semester abroad now. And those are the cousins that I went to go watch the Super Bowl with last Sunday. I'm giving you the whole tree now. Next question is, do I still enjoy creating content for YouTube? Such a good question, because I know so many people that have kind of fluctuated on there. I mean, I've been on YouTube for like almost 11 years now, so many people have kind of like gone off vlogs, started vlogs again. I would say I've pretty much been consistent on my YouTube journey. Like I haven't really taken more than like a Christmas period off YouTube. Oh, the other periods I took off actually was when Duke died, but that fell over like the Christmas period, and also when my engagement ended, I think I took 3 weeks off posting on YouTube, or just posting in general really. General video content like platforms for me are the best platforms. I much prefer videos than I do to pictures. I feel like my personality comes across in videos, and I feel like I connect with people better in videos. Like my Instagram, I don't know, I still struggle with Instagram, like how to get my personality across in pictures. How do people get their personality across in pictures? I don't know. Maybe they just don't. Maybe their outfits speak for them, or their like makeup looks speak for them or something. That's actually a very good point. But I will say, as the years have gone by, when I started YouTube, there wasn't even Instagram, and now there's TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram. So what I'm filming gets kind of like saturated through all those platforms. So if I'm doing something, it's like, okay, is this going to be a YouTube Short or a TikTok, or is this like part of my weekly vlog? I don't like people seeing the same things on all my platforms. Like I don't like you watching something on YouTube that you've seen on TikTok. So if I'm doing like a day in my life on TikTok or on YouTube Shorts, that probably won't be in a vlog. I don't know if people notice this or not though. Like, do you notice this, or is this just me and something I think about? I think YouTube is also my most loyal place. It's the place that I feel most comfortable, and I feel most confident, and I feel most like connected to. So for that reason, YouTube will always be my favorite platform. And I think whenever I'm going for advice, I come to YouTube. Whenever I want like honest opinions, wherever I want like honest feedback by the people that really know me, I think that's on YouTube. I will say that now that most people are filming on their phones, it is weird bringing around a big camera to film on, like a big Canon, and when people see you like vlogging, they still to this day will find it really weird. So it is quite difficult to get your balls out and vlog in public, because you do get a lot of weird looks, whereas when you're filming on your phone, no one really notices. I don't really mind that so much. I've never really got shy about vlogging, but it is something that I need to be like, okay, time to vlog, everyone good with me vlogging, or like I'll start vlogging and some people, if they're not used to me vlogging, will go quiet. Or I get a lot of comments from people like in real life being like, oh, you're so good at talking to the camera, and it's because I'm so used to it, to not thinking about it as a camera. Which reminds me, when I first started doing YouTube videos, I would make my sister sit in the room with me. She actually wouldn't do this, but I would beg her to sit in the room with me, so that I felt like I was talking to someone, not just talking to a camera. And now I forget the camera's even there. Good afternoon, guys. I just got back from my IV, and all my fake tan has literally been like peeled off. I'm just getting ready to go for lunch. I'm going to San Ambrose. Can I do this up on camera? No. Do I need to go to the mirror? Could I do it with 10 chins? Oh, yes! I did it. This is my mum's vintage necklace. Well, it's my mum's necklace from when she was like my age. I always get questions about it. So yeah, I'm going to San Ambrose for lunch with the gals, Tamara and Audrey. This was Tamara's bag that I borrowed last night, isn't it? So beautiful. If you've been seeing on my YouTube Shorts and on my TikTok, we've done Tamara styling videos. For every time I go out, I'm going to do another one with her tonight, because her style is just the best. And every time I post her doing my outfits, everyone is like, wow. Someone even commented, Tamara is so chic, she doesn't even have a public social media, which is really funny, because everyone was like commenting, trying to like thinking she was an influencer and trying to find her profile, and then someone commented like, she's so chic, she doesn't even have social media, which really made me laugh. These, oh my gosh, how many? I have 6 lip products in my bag. 7, 8, 9. Wow, that's a lot of lippies. So this is my little outfit. I've been wearing this on repeat, to be honest. This belt, this jeans, this jumper, and I'm really loving my Rhode lip gloss situation, the cinnamon one. It actually does make me a bit hungry though, not gonna lie. Questions. So I'm going for lunch with Tamara and Audrey now, which leads me on to my next question. How did you become friends with Tamara and Audrey and your other US friends? Audrey I actually met through TikTok. We followed each other. I messaged her. I was here maybe I think it was 3 years ago now, and I messaged her and said, hey, I'm in New York, do you want to get lunch? And we went for lunch. We went to Sartiano's, which is in the Mercer Hotel. We just instantly hit it off. We didn't follow each other that closely. For example, I didn't know much about like Audrey's history. We kind of had just only really followed each other for the past couple of months, so we found out a lot about each other at lunch, and then we sort of stayed in touch. We just instantly clicked, and then we started traveling together. We realized we had actually some mutual friends in New York. And Tamara and I, it's actually a really interesting story, because we have known each other probably since we were about 15 or 16 and were never close. We would always be at mutual dinners, on trips together where we would bump into each other. Our parents kind of knew each other. I was actually spending a lot more time with her elder sister when I was about 18. 4 years ago, we went for dinner with a mutual friend of ours, Guy. He had kind of double booked us both for dinner and was like, why don't we just all go for dinner? And we never really spent that much time together. It was always just like in passing ships on the night kind of thing, like, hi, how are you, cute top, cute skirt kind of thing, whatever. Very, very like light-hearted stuff. Anyway, we went for dinner, me, Guy, and Tamara. It was the night before my birthday. Tamara and I, it was literally like a date where, you know, in the room sometimes where two people just gravitate towards each other and no one else is in the room. That was like me and Tamara. It was like Guy might not as well have been at this dinner. It was literally us yapping all night. We basically decided like that night we were going to be friends, and we were like, this is me and you, we're in sync, we're in tune, we're understanding each other. Like I can't even describe it. It was literally just like a connection. I've actually not had a connection with like a man like that. I would love, you know, you hear those stories of like, oh, the guy and this girl were at the party and they just gravitated toward each other, spoke all night, and then like spoke every day since. Like, what a great story. Anyway, that was my story with Tamara. We literally just gravitated towards each other. Guy wasn't even there, basically. I mean, he was there, but he wasn't there. He was like third wheeling us, even though technically he was like closer to both of us. And then we spoke every day since. We spoke every day since, and every day probably that we've been in the same country. We were basically in the same country for about 7 months, and then Tamara moved to New York. Basically spoken every single day since then, which is wild. It was like one of those relationships where it's just like boop and that was it, and you just don't think about it anymore. Okay, 2 questions: dream bag and Hermes wishlist. So I'm going to tie these 2 in together. My dream bag is probably this, the Hermes Birkin 35 in gold, which I would absolutely love. Sorry, can you hear the washing machine? It will turn off in a second. It's singing in na 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 na. Okay, yeah, anyway, this Birkin 35 in gold with gold hardware. Oh, I love. Another dream bag of mine is actually the Hermes Picotin, which is this one. I would also love this in gold. I'm in a kind of browns and golds phase at the moment, but the Picotin is probably one of my most worn bags just because it fits so much and it's so versatile. Literally any color Mini Kelly. Any color Mini Kelly is on my wish list. So that's kind of like my Hermes wish list. In terms of non-Hermes bags, there is one. Oh, I have it right here. I'm going to show it to you. It's actually Tamara's, and I borrowed it from Miami. Look at this bag. This is a crochet Miu Miu bag. It's incredible. Like, it's literally, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. I just think it's so cute. I mean, obviously wouldn't wear it with my winter cashmere, but I wear quite a lot of boring plain things. Like, I was wearing a linen dress in Miami, just a black boring linen dress, and this just makes it so fun and so cute, and I'm obsessed. I know Audrey has it as well. In terms of other bags, this could be a whole video in itself, let me tell you. But anyway, the micro Lady D Joy. I really want a small Lady D Joy in denim. They bought this out in the micro with the little hearts for Valentine's Day. They bought it out in pink. It was so cute. And I really would love a denim Chanel. That would be amazing, because I really want a denim bag. So either the denim Lady D Joy small or denim Chanel. Oh, I actually have more to say. I have more to say on the bag front. Oh my gosh, the Hermes Pochettes. Another bag that fits so much that I just love. I would love this in black with gold hardware. Or silver hardware. Actually, no, gold, black and gold. Very good for the evening. I would also love like another fun color, maybe like a green or a pink. Oh, how cute would that be? Ooh, that would be amazing. So yeah, I love this bag. I need it in multiple colors, but just imagine a blue. Oh my gosh, imagine a blue. Anyway, I need to start getting ready for lunch. Let me grab my coat. I actually don't know if I'm gonna have time to walk to lunch, even though it's such a beautiful day. We might have to take a cab. This is my vintage Larry baby. Okay, so this is the little outfit. Oh, my wire. That's good news. I was looking for this. Please be the brown, please be the brown, please be the brown. Ooh, brown YSLs. Should I wear those, or should I wear my brown Chanels? Maybe these are good. These are good, I think. The moment of truth. Am I going walking, or am I going, 23-minute walk, and I need to be there in 15 minutes. And I don't want to be late, because let me tell you, Audrey and Tamara know each other through me, and they both treat me the same and tell me that I need to be somewhere earlier. You know what, lunch is at 1:15. I wouldn't be surprised if lunch is actually at 1:30. It just occurred to me they always tell me an earlier time. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I will be there the time they tell me, because I'm on time these days. So we're gonna order a cab, like the good girl that I am so that I can be on time for my girls. Should we spray some perfuma? It is such a glorious day. I have to say, Tamara's always telling me that the weather in New York is much sunnier than the weather in London, and I have to say I agree with her. It is definitely, it's colder here, but it's also sunnier. Right, I need some shoes. Where are my boots? I know which boots are mine in Tamara's dressing room because they're the dirtiest ones. So they were very easy to spot. I'm gonna take some Lemmy before we go. Let me take some Lemmy. Take a water. I'm not wearing the right socks for these boots and they feel a bit weird. Do you know what I mean? So I hope you enjoyed this different kind of Q&A. I really enjoyed it. I feel like we should do these kind of Q&As more often. So leave me any, God, I need to wash my hair, but leave me any questions you have for the next Q&A down below. I really need to do Q&As more often, and I will definitely do them in this format because I think it's just a bit more fun. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful week. I will see you next Sunday, 9:30 a.m. with another vlog. Mwah. Bye guys.